So why is rap so catchy? I mean, what about it makes us want to sing along and memorize entire songs? And I'm about to answer that for you. Obviously, it's the name of the video, so. Let's compare Kendrick Lamar's poetic techniques to that of Shakespeare because, believe it or not, they use the same devices. Let's look at the poetry first and at Shakespeare's Sonnet 18 and compare that to a line from Kendrick Lamar.
Take this line for example from Shakespeare. So long lives this, and this gives life to thee. Every word here connects to another, all through rhyme, rhythm, assonance, and consonance. Now look at this line from Kendrick Lamar's The Hard Part 2. Let bygones be bygones, but where I'm from, we buy guns and more guns to give to the young.
Yeah, I can't really play his music because of copyright, so I'm just gonna have to speak it out. Sorry.
Read this one out loud. It should have a similar feeling in your mouth. The words just flow off of each other in the same way. Kendrick uses the same poetic techniques as Shakespeare. Shakespeare uses alliteration with the L's, long lives life, and Kendrick with the B's. Bygones be, bygones but by. We also see consonants, which just means we hear the same sound over and over, and we see this within the sonnet with the S's. So lives this gives. Look at Kendrick's with the G's. Bygones, bygones, guns, guns, give. And then we see assonance, which again means the words sound the same, but this time with vowels. We see this here with the I's. They don't even necessarily have to rhyme for this to work. Look at the O's. So, long, and to. They are all different sounds for the O, but they use the same part of the mouth that is used with the letter O, and this makes the line feel better. Kendrick does this with the E's. Again, all different versions of the sound. And then the O's, and then the sound. Kendrick is using the same poetic devices as Shakespeare. He does this again later in the song in his line, "You probably heard I want to be heard and wonder who I am." Again, if you say this out loud, you'll hear just how soothing it is to speak. It feels good to repeat and it sounds good to listen to. It makes this lyric not only more impressive, but more catchy to our ear. You can actually see how catchy this is with nursery rhymes and tongue twisters. Sally sells seashells by the seashore. Again, it uses a plethora of alliteration, consonants, assonance, rhythm, rhyme, along with all these other poetic devices, and that's what makes this so memorable. This is a form of poetic repetition. Nursery rhymes do the same thing. Look at Twinkle Twinkle Little Star or Row 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 Your Boat. Or how about Dr. Seuss's books such as One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish.
Kids love this because it soothes our ear and our brain. It leaves us wanting to feel that sensation again. It's like a massage for our ears and our mind, and Kendrick uses other poetic techniques too.
Let's compare anaphras with Fear and Emily Dickinson's I Cannot Stop for Death. Or how about epistrophe with DNA in Walt Whitman's Song of Myself.
These are the faces of poetry, and Kendrick is utilizing all of their techniques for people to just casually jam out to on the way to work. And Kendrick and other rappers in this stage are not just musicians, they are poets. But poetry isn't the only thing that makes music catchy. The three things that make a song so catchy are repetition, syncopation, and just the simple ability to make us bop our heads and dance. Hip-hop uses different repetition than most other types of music. That's why we remember the chorus compared to, say, the raps of such songs.
We do have the poetic repetition we talked about earlier, which is small, but it makes a huge difference in how we remember the rap later.
But there is more repetition hidden in rap. The words don't necessarily repeat, but the sounds do. It's called meter, and again, it's what makes Shakespeare so catchy. It is memorable, and the words themselves don't necessarily repeat, but the sounds do, and again, and hip-hop has their own form of meter as well. Because I can't really play his music, I can't really show you any of this, but there is a wonderful video by Vox that showcases this.
This is used with syncopation, which just means the rhythm is thrown off its own beat. Look at this beat, and how it throws itself off. This makes the music change itself and stay exciting.
Finally, the magical ability to make us bop our heads and dance, and hip-hop has a way of doing this like no other form of music. Perhaps it's because of its excessive use of drums or high BPM. However, researchers don't really know what makes us want to dance. We just know when it does it, and rap has a way of consistently making us want to do it. Unlike the rest of the techniques I talked about, this has no terminology. It either does it or it doesn't, and hip-hop and rap, and especially Kendrick, just has a way of doing it. Using all of these techniques together make an art form unlike anything since Shakespeare's time. Okay, maybe a bit of an exaggeration, but yeah, you get my point. And combined with amazing storytelling and performances, and it's no wonder why hip-hop and rap have become such big art forms, and why Kendrick won a Pulitzer Prize and is winning Grammys and considered one of the greatest of all times.